Hi, it's Jason Perico for Bianchi Honda, introducing the 2016 Take Home a CR-V event. Start by leasing America's best-selling SUV, the 2016 Honda CR-V LX all-wheel drive for only $279 a month for 36 months with no money down. That's right, no money down, only $279 a month. Only during the 2016 Take Home a CR-V event here at Bianchi Honda.
And we're going to do it again for the people that didn't get to hear you talk about the Mercyhurst game. You had a few days or maybe a few hours to think about it. I know we've got to look ahead to Edinburgh. But what was your opinion after the Mercyhurst game?
Kind of exactly what I told you after the game. You know, it was a good game. I think, you know, in the end, maybe our experience, our lack of thereof, you know, kind of cost us in some certain situations. But you know, it's a first half issue with us of coming out. I think the real Gannon team was the second half, but we got to start games like that, and we just don't have a catalyst in that first half to get ourselves going. We've given up a score besides that game, I think, every first drive against an offense, and we haven't done enough efficient things offensively to control the clock and control the field. But we've come out in the second half and have done it, and I don't know if you can put your finger on it, but I think it has a little bit to do with lack of experience. The scout team's not running as fast as we're seeing the other teams run. It takes us a little bit of time to get used to it. But, you know, it was a good game, Jimmy. In the end, they made more plays than we did, and you know, they executed when we didn't, and they won the ball game. It was a tough one to hold on to in overtime.
All year now, you're 3-2. You've played great second halves. Do you do the same thing at halftime? Do you make changes, whether you're up or down at the half, or do you reiterate? Had you been reiterating the game plan and just saying we have to do that? What do you do at halftime, and what did you say at halftime of the Mercyhurst game?
Yeah, you know, you do reiterate because you win the ball game through practice during the course of the week. That's how you prepare for the game. But there are adjustments we need to make at halftime. And I think what helps us is the continuity of our coaching staff, and everyone being here for the last 4 years helps us be able to make adjustments. Schemes aren't any different. You know, you find out different ways that people have come out and play you. But I think through the first 5 games of the season right now, we've made some really good halftime adjustments. But then, you know, the game kind of slows down for our kids that haven't been on the field before too. So, you know, it's two in the same. But, you know, I think the adjustments we've made at halftime and the communication and the procedure we take at halftime has really helped our kids, and we build confidence in them, put them in good situations. I think that's why we've came out and played well in the second half all year.
All right, one rivalry game to another, you lose in overtime. Oh, that's the other question, of course, everybody's, hey, was Coach going to think of going for 2 or, you know, things such as that?
Yeah, that's a good question. When we scored, it was going through my mind. What my final determination is how well we were playing in the second half. I thought we outplayed them. So why not, you know, go into overtime knowing that we're playing better than they were at that point in time? If we were playing behind or we got outscored in that second half, by all means, I probably would have went for 2 in that situation.
Yeah, really, as you said, the way you guys were playing, no self-putting your team in an all-or-nothing situation.
Yeah,
they were playing well.
Exactly. That's what my thought process was, especially when they called a timeout and had no timeouts left. I thought, you know, if we went for 2 here, would they be prepared for it? But, you know, I thought we were playing better, Jimmy. And, you know, I thought, you know, we had the advantage going into overtime because of it.
All right, Coach, one rivalry game to another. Edinburgh University coming in 4-1, which is big in the West, plus a rivalry game. How do you view this, and how has practice been going coming off a tough loss?
Yeah, you know, the Mercyhurst week, the week of practice wasn't good. I told the kids, but, you know, we weren't focused enough. We didn't assignment strong. We weren't there for some reason. This week, for the first 3 practices, have probably been our best week of practice the entire season. I think we've learned our lesson from that standpoint, that you're really going to play like you practice. So I've been really proud the way they came back. You know, enthusiasm there, but they've been playing smart in practice because Edinburgh does give you some different schemes that you got to prepare for. They're very good at what they're doing right now, and they're playing with energy. You know, what you expect from a new coaching staff taking over a program. So, yeah, practice has been really good. I've been really proud. I told the kids yesterday, you know, we've got to finish it now, today and Friday, to make sure we're assignment strong. But we've come back really, really good after this loss, this heartbreaking loss to Mercyhurst.
When you're breaking down film, and this is in general and in particular, Edinburgh being in particular, do you look at a certain game and certain things, or do you look at IUP where they kind of got handled, Or do you look at Clarion where they played well, won 62-14? Or do you look at both and see why did they play so well, or were they stopped? How do you break film down, Brad?
Well, I think it's different on both sides of the ball. I mean, offensively, we're trying to find different offenses that run what we run. You know, for us to go back and watch a 2 tight end, 2 back team run against Edinburgh, it doesn't make any sense because that's not what they're going to do defensively. I watch the full games. I watch all of them, you know, because I want to get a feel for what we're going up against. I know defensively we try to find 3-man front teams. Lockhaven, they played Lockhaven earlier. They're a 3-3 stack team. So we looked at a lot of that, just how they're going to block certain things or your pattern recognition from the coverages that we show in comparison to the other teams. But I like to get a look at it from an ability standpoint, you know, where they're matching up with different people that historically we know and what IUP's putting on the field and what Clarion's putting on the field. So, yeah, I'll watch the full games, but the coordinators, they're going to watch what schematically makes sense for us.
I'd like to ask you this question exactly halfway through the season, but running down at Edinburgh Saturday and say, hey, Coach, I have a question for you. It just has never worked with an intense coach. But basically halfway through the season, if you had to give your team a letter grade, where would you be?
Well, I think we exceeded expectations early on. Every game we've played into this point, Jimmy's been close. Even the Slippery Rock game, you know, we missed some field goals to put that at a 1-score game down there. But I'd give us a B if I had to give us a letter grade. You know, we've had some kids that never been on the field. We have 4 starters basically coming back from last year's team. So, but we're talented. And, you know, the kids have fought. You know, the leadership's been great, and that's probably where the B is coming from. Even this week, you know, coming off that heartbreaking loss to our rival in town, the leaders took over this team, you know, in the sideline talk at the Slippery Rock game and how they took control, didn't let that get out of control. You know, they've been awesome with it, but the kids have been coming back. We haven't been blown out in the game. We've been in every game. We lost one in overtime, so I've been really proud of the kids from that standpoint. So hopefully, as the season goes on, experience doesn't become a factor, and these kids now have been on the field for 5 games, and we just see a better product out there.
You know, the worst grade I would give the team would be a C+, B-, just because that close loss is fresh in my mind. But if it goes the other way, I'm a solid B+ for what my expectations were and looking at everything. So, yeah, I think you have to be happy from that situation.
That's why I love you, Jimmy, because you're invested, man. I love your opinion for it because you're a fan, and obviously we have a relationship. But I agree with you from that standpoint.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Final question, just in general. What are you doing recruiting right now? Have you identified needs and positions yet, or do you have to just generally recruit and get in specifics after the season? Where are you recruiting-wise?
We are knee-deep, and we have already addressed positional need stuff because we don't lose a ton out of this year. We lose 8 seniors for the most part, and I think 4 of them are starters for us, but we have a lot coming back. So, yeah, we've identified what we need. We're watching recruiting film on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and every time we can during the course of the week. But we've identified a lot of different positions that we don't need a ton next year. We need some holes and some gaps to fill, some immediate kids at certain positions. But we're going to have this team come back for the next 2 years for the most part after this because we have a lot of freshmen and sophomores playing for us right now. So that's the good part about it. But no, we've watched a ton of film to this point, made contacts with those people, and recruiting's a year-round deal. So we hadn't stopped that, and we're going to continue to do it.
And one final question, how many red shirts this year are you giving out so far?
Yeah, we had to burn, I think, 7 to this point, true freshmen, which is the most that we've done to this point. I think there's still 15 sitting on that sideline that were in the white jerseys over there, so I think we're right around 15. And there's 2 kids that, from an injury standpoint, got medical this year that will be back for us that aren't considered red shirts, but that'll be playing for us next year.
Gannon football coach Brad Rzyczycki, always a pleasure. Best of luck against the Fighting Scots.
Thanks, Jimmy.
All right, I am James R. Back to the Blitz, everybody.